Hey, what's up, guys? This is Josh from Upright Health here with
Matt Shu. How's it going, guys?
Today we are talking about pelvic tilts, and we're talking about the importance of being able to tilt your pelvis in both directions, specifically if you are trying to fix your anterior pelvic tilt. So Matt's showing a good little example here of anterior pelvic tilt, and what the main thing that needs to happen here is that his pelvis needs to posterior tilt and tilt under him to be more neutral position, right? So what we find with a lot of clients and people that we've worked with who have anterior tilt is that they really just don't know how to control their hips and their pelvis at all. So you start getting things like this going, right? So the main thing that needs to happen is we need to gain more hip awareness. So we have to have the ability to, if I want to put myself in anterior tilt, I can. If I want to tuck my pelvis under into posterior tilt, I can. And I can do that without compensating at my spine and moving my legs and stuff like this. Okay, so just doing, if you don't already know how to do this, then just doing this standing up can be quite challenging. So we're going to give you 2 exercises that you can use to work on this. Both these exercises are in the Fix Anterior Pelvic Tilt program. You guys can check that out. We'll throw a link in the description. So let's get to these exercises. Exercise number 1 is the supine pelvic tilt. So Matt gets down on his back, he puts his feet to the ground, his knees are up, and what we're going to do is we're going to have him start in anterior pelvic tilt. So that means that his back is arched, and as you can see here, there's a gap underneath his lower back and the ground, okay? His pelvis is tilted forward in this position. So now all we're going to have him do is just tuck his hips under, his back flattens out here, his pelvis posterior tilts, and now we're in posterior pelvic tilt, okay? So now he can go back through this motion, anterior pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt, right? Not an intense exercise, but what we're doing is we're gaining this hip awareness, okay? So like any movement that you're learning, first try to establish that you have these range of motions and get the movement down, and then Matt can start feeling what muscles he's using to do this motion. So when he posterior tilts, he gets some stomach engagement, this core engagement, and also his glutes should fire, right? Boom. When he goes back to anterior tilt, his belly relaxes and his butt kind of sticks out, okay? So think about that, right? He's gonna squeeze his glutes, tighten his abs, right? That brings him into posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so let's get to the next exercise. Matt's gonna flip over. We're gonna get to a quadruped position, so his hands are underneath his shoulders, knees under the hips, and essentially we're gonna be doing the same thing, but in this position, okay? So he can start in anterior tilt, so he's gonna arch the back, he sticks the butt up, and now he's going to posterior tilt by tucking his tailbone under, and then he rounds that lower back more, okay? We go through these, anterior tilt, posterior tilt, same thing. Get this movement down and then start feeling here, his belly's relaxed, and now he's gonna tighten the belly, squeeze the butt to get to posterior pelvic tilt, okay? Let's go through this one more time, Matt. Arch in the back, butt sticks up, tailbone tucks under, posterior tilt. Try these 2 exercises out. If you have anterior pelvic tilt, this is going to help you learn how to posterior tilt to fix that. And even if you don't have anterior pelvic tilt, it's just great to have complete control over your hips. You're only going to be healthier in the long run. Check out fixanteriorpelvictilt.com for our program on fixing your anterior pelvic tilt. Like the video, subscribe to Upright Health, and remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't.
If you enjoyed this video, then please like and comment. And be sure to subscribe to Upright Health for more great content in the future.